Nene Leakes and Carlos King are going on tour, starting with a 2-city stop in February. On Tuesday, February 24th, we are headed to Raleigh, North Carolina. On Thursday, February 26th, we are headed to Nashville, Tennessee. Tickets are on sale now. Make sure you get them before they sell out. See you there. Hey, Raindrops. On today's episode of Reality with the King, look, I think that this is the century or the decade of my vindication, because I've been saying for years that Married to Medicine is the best show on Bravo that y'all not watching. I said that years ago, but now y'all watching it. And now everybody loves it. And I'm here with somebody because she's wearing a coat due to the fact that her back hurts because she's been carrying the season. Give it up for TOYA Bush Harris.
Not carrying the season. Okay, I can't do it alone. So
No, you and the girls.
Shout out to my castmates. I love my friends, my castmates. Y'all are amazing. My producers, man, we have had some great producers over the years, to be honest with you. I'm just highly blessed. Really am. They taught me everything I know.
TOYA.
I'm blaming on them.
TOYA, no. And you, first of all, we're both from Detroit.
Yes.
You and I are friends in real life.
Yes.
In my line, when I have been championing for this show forever. And the moment I got my podcast, I used it to say, look, guys, y'all got to watch this show. How does it feel now to know that I feel like this show is finally getting the momentum it deserves?
Well, I'm going to say right off the bat, I appreciate you because you could only be talking about your shows, okay? But I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? Because it goes a long way when someone can say and have the biggest heart for their people and say, you know what? This is just a good show. Whether I like y'all production team or whatever, I love y'all. And y'all are good TV. And we need it because really and truly, it's just us. You know, we're a little pond. We're a little fish in a big pond. It's like, you know, there's a ton of housewives, you know, but, you know, Married to Medicine is just us right now, hopefully.
No, listen, you ladies are the epitome of great television. Y'all clock in. This season is off the charts. Before we get into a lot of that, we have to start with the breaking news. That Quad and King did break up. It was announced first on Sunday, where King said that, you know, somebody said, ooh, King, you look good. Quad's a lucky woman. And he responded and said, her luck ran out. Her luck ran out. And then another woman said something and he said, I left the situation. Were you surprised when you learned that Quad and King broke up?
I was more surprised that, and I pray that Quad gives me the same grace that she's gonna give Heavenly, because you know Heavenly came on your show and she said that's my friend, and so Quad's my friend now too, you know. And Quad said, you know, or Heavenly said, should I say Heavenly? So let's make it clear. Heavenly said that they've been broken up for months, right?
She did.
You know, and I'm just curious how many months. You know, because Quad is right, you know, and so it's Heavenly. He has developed relationships to the point where, thank you, King, shout out to, you know, giving my son one of the best birthday gifts ever. And I appreciate him. He's been there for my husband. They have celebrated Father's Day together. He was there at my husband's birthday. And he's become a good friend. You know, and I don't want y'all to think that we go around befriending. No, Quad brought him to us, okay? And he's a nice guy. And I hate that this season is so hard for him because really and truly, and her, but, you know, really and truly, I think the relationship was over during the season.
Cold towards her?
Or just distant. I'm not even going to say cold. He's distant and he's not as loving as he was. And you can see it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the viewers are going to start seeing a different scenario with him as they continue to watch the show. And then you'll ask yourself, were they together? Because that's what I started asking King myself.
Did you ask him yourself?
I did, but it's not my business to tell. I think that is something that, you know,
Hi, Quad.
yeah.
I'll call you.
Yeah. Please do. Because
Have you reached out to Quad since learning about the breakup?
Quad has actually been there for me. Recently, my father has been in the hospital. She called me. She prayed with me. Quad has been a friend to everybody this season. And so that's why it's so hard, because it's like, God, I don't want to argue with my friends. I don't want to go back and forth, but it is sad because I feel I'm one of those people that, I fight for everyone. I do. Even if you're my enemy, I'm still fighting for you if it's the right thing to do. And I just feel like it's just so unfair when you only hear one side of the story. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's what the media is for.
Well, you did mention that you solicited King's service because he owns a luxury car dealership.
Yes.
And he did a surprise for your son.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you broke the girl code by keeping in touch with your friend's ex-man?
I don't keep in touch. I do not have his phone number. I do not have his DM. I know what his DM is.
Are you still following him?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't think you should unfollow him?
Eugene and him are good friends.
But are y'all good friends?
Am I good friends?
With King.
I'm about as good of a friend with King as I am with Quad. Me and Quad are just getting our relationship together. So come on now. Now you know that shit. Okay, that's like that God forbid, the day we good, tomorrow we not. So I'm not doing all that. Now. Simone went and unfollowed Jackie the other day, but I don't unfollow people. Okay. It ain't that deep. Okay. I just mute you. I will mute your story. Period.
So, okay, so when it comes to another revelation that happened, because this has been a busy Married to Medicine week.
Yeah.
Your friend, Dr. Simone, has been posting a lot of things about Dr. Jackie. She said that after Dr. Jackie appeared on Watch What Happens Live, Dr. Simone tweeted, "You are still defending the devil," all caps.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Simone posted a screenshot of comments of people telling Dr. Simone that Dr. Jackie is not her friend. And we've learned that Dr. Simone has unfollowed Dr. Jackie.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
I just feel it's actually really, really sad because Jackie and Simone go back to Simone being there when Jackie went through a huge ordeal with cancer. And I remember when we first started Married to Medicine, and they said to me, nothing is going to come between us, okay? Because we are this right here. And I was like, okay, girls, all right, And I believed them, and I hate to say it, but this time it is the devil. And I'm not going to call Heavenly a devil. I'm just going to say I think it's a spirit on her. Because the reality is what y'all are seeing on television is half of the story all the time. Thank God for the camera. And that's why Simone kept saying, review the footage, rewind the tape in the green screen. And they did. And I love my production team for doing that because the girls will lie. And she lied. And Simone was not unhinged at all. And I'm not just saying that because that's my friend, because I defend even my enemy, period.
When you saw Simone grab Heavenly's arm,
remove.
Remove.
Let's use the word remove Heavenly's arm.
Remove Heavenly's arm.
Yes.
Okay. Did you feel like that was enough for Heavenly to feel like you've gone too far?
No, because just before that, if you really rewind the footage, you'll see Quad and I'm grabbing Quad like, calm down. When her and Simone, that was an unhinged moment. Quad pushed me, threw things back, security jumped in the midst. That's unhinged. Okay, what Simone did was make a statement. And the statement was, don't touch me. And I think anyone should be able to do that. Thank God we're able to do that on TV, because people will try to provoke you. and put you in uncomfortable situations that make you feel like you have to react. And I can speak to it because I've been there. I remember people flipping my hair and all of that and everything else that came with it years ago, but it takes a strong woman to say, please take your hand off of me and I will not do this. And I respect it. Props to her.
Do you think Dr. Jackie is a good friend to Simone?
Ooh. I think that she could be a better friend to many. I think that there's a lot of times where Jackie has dropped the ball, and she's not the Jackie that I knew years ago. I'll never forget Lemon Squeeze Jackie. I'll never forget coming to her house and I was so sad and she had my back with Mariah and, something switched, within the last maybe 5 years or so.
That long?
I think so. I think, honestly, it was something that happened when we were filming and Jackie broke into tears, and she was arguing with Mariah. It was the whole thing about the drugs. And Jackie was just so hurt and broken, and Heavenly came to her rescue. And I think from that moment on, that's where Jackie just decided I would rather not even stand up for anyone, if just to not be in that pain again. Mm. And you saw how she handled the Buffy situation. She was mortified, sad daily, but at the same token, you keep doing the same thing. Like she does some slip ups, and I think we all do, but the difference is she wants a pass for her slip ups, and I know this is a little bit more than what you asked about friendship, but I think that a friend should be able to tell their friends when they're wrong. A friend should be protective. And I think that Jackie would not have been okay with someone lying on her. She wouldn't have been okay with any of that. She would have been asking for them to be fired or saying that she will not be on the show anymore. And so why is it any different for Simone? And why would you go on national TV, on Watch What Happens Live, and not tell the truth, not defend that?
When it comes to Dr. Jackie's friendship with Simone and Heavenly, do you think she sides with Heavenly more than Simone? And if so, why do you think she sides with Heavenly more?
She absolutely sides with Heavenly more, but I think that a lot of the girls look to Heavenly for protection. And it's crazy that I would use that word, right? You're like, protection? But you know what it's like when the girls come for you and it's more than one. A lot of us think that we can handle reality TV. I thought I could, but this is a beast right here. This the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's worse than birth, okay? All right, this right here, this and a tummy tuck. Those two things are the worst things I have ever, okay? And honestly, I just, she doesn't want to go through the fire alone. And Heavenly is willing to fight these girls' battles. That's why you see some of the new girls running up behind her, not even trying to see anybody else's point of view, just strategically. I mean, seriously, her and Quad's relationship, Heavenly, that's my friend. I love her, but I can talk now. Okay, well, I'm her friend too. Can I talk?
Ooh.
Can I do the same?
Can you?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. We're going to see.
Ooh.
The reunion Friday.
And it's dropping Thursday.
Okay. That part.
Hey, reunion content.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
Well, listen, when you talk about the girls following Heavenly, the new girls, Dr. Mimi is a new cast member. Mm-hmm. And she's very opinionated. I think she's wonderful for the show.
You do.
I love Dr. Mimi.
You mean Brandy? Are you talking about Brandy or Mimi? I'm sorry. Did you mean Brandy?
Toya Bush.
Did you mean Brandy?
Toya Bush Harris.
I know you meant Brandy. Stop playing.
Toya Bush Harris.
You don't mean Brandy?
I love Brandy too.
Okay, that's the realest one now, right? Okay, she giving you herself. She's a breath of fresh air. Praise God for Brandy.
I love Brandy.
Thank you.
I've been very vocal about.
Okay, well, let's talk about Brandy. What you want to talk about? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Am I taking over? I'm sorry. It's your platform.
As you do. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
But I love you. You're my Detroit sister.
All right.
We grew up together. Now
that
look.
Part.
I'm gonna get to Brandy in a second.
Okay.
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 You are
balance it out.
Hilarious.
I'm just saying.
But I would like to start with Dr. Mimi. I think she's great for the show. Her husband is I can say this, you can't. Not that you would, but
attractive? You think he attractive?
Oh yes.
Really?
I think Steve.
That's what the boys say. What? What? What are you saying?
I have never conducted an interview on this podcast that has been award-winning, featured in People Magazine, Shade Room, that has amassed today over 147 million views.
Wow.
Where someone has beat me at my own game in an interview.
You know, it's God.
You why?
It's God. All praise.
I am.
All praise.
You are really good.
You know, my pastor's wife said she would like to see what she wants the world to see, what she sees. And I said, okay, all right, I got you.
No, listen, I love everything about you. You are really dominating this interview, and I'm here for it. Now, back to Dr. Mimi. I think Steve is gorgeous. I think he's stunning.
Yes.
No disrespect, Dr. Mimi, but Steve is extremely attractive.
And so is Eugene.
But you already know.
You better give my man his props. He is extremely attractive.
First of all, we have a surprise guest.
Okay.
First of all, I want to give Eugene his flowers when he gets here in front of you. Because I have lots of questions about you and Eugene. Now, before he gets here, honey, I'm going to stick on Steve, honey.
Okay. How long?
Not long.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry, Mimi. Anywho, back to Mimi. I think Mimi's great for the show. Do you think Mimi is following behind Heavenly for protection?
Absolutely. I definitely think she's following behind Heavenly for protection. And really and truly, I would have to differ with you. I think Steve is great for the show. I do. I think Mimi, on the other hand, needs some work. But I think Steve is great.
What work does she need?
Just, you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet.
I think
you got to stop.
does.
No, she does not.
Okay.
She likes to use special trigger words that she learned being a psychiatrist. Chaos. She's in chaos. She, am I safe with her? She, Heavenly didn't get that. She's unhinged. That was Mimi. Stop playing. Stop playing. When have we heard Heavenly say anything like that besides your mama? The people. Honey.
Like I see why I'm obsessed with marital medicine. If you're not watching this show, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's the best show on TV.
Because we want the truth. Everybody wants the truth. Like, let's stop with the...
But you don't think Dr. Mimi is being truthful, child?
I think
Toy,
that she made... I can get under the people's skin, okay? I didn't know I was made for TV, but I guess I am.
You are the TV.
So it is what it is, okay?
You're
so
Samsung.
I get it. Can I be Sony?
Okay.
Okay. I'm Sony.
Okay.
But I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. All I'm saying is, if I can give Mimi any advice, if you want to stay on Married to Medicine, learn how to have your own opinion. Learn how to stop trying to pretend like you're psychoanalyzing your friends, but really you're judging your friends, because none of us has sat on your couch. None of us have spent any time with you outside of filming. And so you know nothing about any of us, except for Quad and Heavenly. Those are the only individuals you can diagnose. Period.
Has she tried to get to know you and Simone and Jackie?
No, she doesn't call us. There's been numerous times where my husband tried to reach out to Steve. Maybe my husband too fine for him. You know, it was competition. You know what I'm saying? He can't hang out with my man because my man works. Okay? I'm just saying.
Steve works.
Yeah.
What does Steve do?
He works under his wife. I think he works with his wife, which I'm okay with.
No, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I think he's the office manager. I mean, in every scene, they just say, go to work. I ain't seen no work, but they just say, go to work. I don't know, but I don't know. Is there paper on his desk? I don't You tell me. I mean, let's rewind the footage.
Is Steve the male version of Toya?
Oh, my goodness. That's why he's so cute. Okay? That's it.
Wait.
Yes. I told you he's perfect for our show. He's perfect.
Because, baby, you are.
We need it. You know, I mean, we got a bunch of old men. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have a little youthful, you know. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of youthful, Angel, I think, is great for the show.
She is. Angel is breathtaking. Angel has, to be honest, Angel spoke up a lot. You know, I'm not going to bite Angel's bait because really and truly, Angel knows TV. And she needs something for the reunion. She does. Because, you know, a lot of times Angel spoke up and it just wasn't shown. You know, and
Why
I
not?
think because she has a big booty. And I think they was like, baby, that is better TV. You know, it is what it is. She looked great in her clothes, don't you? You remember that cute little silver dress? Oh,
Yes.
my God. It was popping out in every direction. And she was talking about God at the same time. It was crazy, okay? But I will say this. I love having Angel on the show. She's spicy.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty. She is fun. You know, and I love the fun girls. And I think the more youth we add to our show, the funner the show is because I'm a different person when I have my youth around me. So I love Angel on the show. Thank you for hiring. Good job.
Yes, and you are a Proverbs 31 woman yourself.
Yes.
You know what that means?
I know I am. I would like to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I mean, there's some things in that proverb, like, you know, meekness, kindness, all these things. Like, it's some things that I'm working on.
I'm going to read it to you.
Okay,
and you tell me if Toya Bush Harris
I'm working on me.
is a Proverbs 31 woman. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she did call Simone a Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 woman. You should be a Yeah, she was quoting it. I saw that too.
Yes, I'm going to tell you what
You're
it is.
right. Let's see what it is.
You ready? Okay,
yes.
y'all ready for this? Okay, I got my reader's shot. Okay,
thank you.
Virtuous and trustworthy. Is that you?
My friends would say so.
Earning her husband's full confidence.
Yeah, he would say so.
Okay. Strong and dignified.
Oh, very.
Generous and wise.
Absolutely. My sons would say so.
Faithful.
Yes, I think, yes.
You think?
I think it's hard to, faithful to what?
Faithful to your husband.
I'm faithful to my husband and to Married to Medicine. Absolutely.
Oh, my bad. It said her it really means faithful to God. Her ultimate praise is based on her fear of the Lord rather than merely her beauty or her charm.
That part.
Is that you?
That part. Baby, I'm not going to hell for nobody. And I always say that too. And the girls know down to the they all know. If there's one thing I can get from Toya is a prayer, I can get they know that my relationship with God is strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm scary, you know, about I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to lie. I try. When I was younger, there was a lot of things that I did that I'm not proud of. And they are
like having Eugene do your term paper to get a date with you?
No, like stealing. Like, being arrested as a child, just putting my mom through hell, rebellious.
Yeah.
Rebellious spirit, and I think when I look back, if I could just redo some parts of my life, but it's okay because God said, guess what? I got grace for you. And look at you now. He said, because some people won't see. If I wasn't on TV, you would never think. My friends know that there is, that Toya, I read somewhere on Instagram and it said, if my girlfriend had 6 husbands, then I have 6 brother-in-laws
Mm-hmm.
and neither one of them will know because that's my girl.
Yeah.
And I am faithful to my friends. I value the friendships that I have. I just got back from the DR with from my girl who just turned 50, and I've known her since I was in 6th grade. All of my friendships date back that far, except for the girls I'm married to medicine. But even with them, it's been over 15, almost 18 years for some of us.
Yeah.
And I'm a faithful friend. I am, but there comes a time where being faithful doesn't mean you have to lie. And I've never asked my friends to lie for me, and I'm not going to lie for them.
Based on what I read about the definition of a Proverbs 31 woman.
Well, you was confused. You thought they was talking about Eugene.
No, I'm saying.
See?
No.
So let's redo that. Let's talk about God.
No. So with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say a name, and you tell me if they are a Proverbs 31 woman based on the definition.
Ooh.
Do you remember it?
What's not even Look at my baby. He done showed up. Hey, honey.
Oh, listen, perfect timing.
Hey, honey. Here, come on. They gonna get
Ladies
you a
and
chair.
gentlemen, Eugene
You look so
Harris.
nice.
Look at Eugene.
You look so good. You look amazing.
Hey, Eugene.
Aw. Look at my babe.
No, Eugene is. When I had Eugene and Cecil on podcast, first of all, the numbers went through the roof because it was nice to hear just from them.
Yeah.
And the way they love up on their women.
Well, that's
This
what
man
sets
loves
us
you.
apart. But that's what sets our show apart, too. Our men are there working for free. They are not being paid.
Yeah.
They are just there to support their wives. And that is a very loving place because there's a lot of housewives' husbands that say, they're not doing it.
And the thing is, and I can say this publicly because I already said it, Cynthia used to give Peter 10% of her paycheck.
Oh, and Simone might. She might. You should ask her. I don't know. But Eugene gets way more than 10% because Switzerland was way more. Okay?
Give me some, girl.
That part.
So what did I miss?
So much.
Girl talk.
So much.
Don't worry. There's one question I do want to get your opinion on.
Oh, yes. I know what that is.
You really are. Okay, so listen. Raindrops, we are blessed with the presence of this great man who I revere so much. I'm not going to get emotional.
You should. He just drove in from work.
No, but I know he did, but that's not the reason.
2 hours for you.
No, but he also, the thing about Dr. Eugene is I was going through something personal. You know about that.
Yes. Oh.
Yes. And I called TOYA and I said, I need to talk to Eugene.
Absolutely.
And Eugene was there for me. And I just want to say for the world to know, this is a good man, Savannah.
Yeah.
Like in real life, this
life.
man helped me through something that I was going through on a personal level through somebody in my life. And I just think you're the greatest thing in the world. So give it up for Dr. Eugene Harris.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you did miss all of the girl talk, but I do have to... You came in at the right time because I was reading the definition.
Well, they say I need to stay out of women's business.
That's
Well,
right.
not
Not your wife's business.
on reality with the king.
My business is
playing.
your business.
Now when this
So it's
man...
okay.
I agree.
This man is opposite of women's business, so welcome to my world.
Anything concerning his wife is his business.
Period. So, as you know, Angel mentioned on the show a Proverbs 31 woman, and I want to know if your wife fits the description. Virtuous and trustworthy.
Yes.
Strong and dignified.
Yes.
Generous and wise.
Yes.
Faithful.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I'm going to name some names, and you tell me if they are a Proverbs 31 woman. Okay?
For me or him?
Both of y'all.
He can't.
No, okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine, for you.
Okay.
But you can make a noise if you disagree. Okay.
I make faces. Go
Okay,
ahead.
Proverbs 31 woman, Dr. Heavenly.
She is not trustworthy. So no.
Okay. Dr. Simone,
Yes.
Dr. Jackie,
Yes.
Quad,
I'm developing a trust. We're trying. But in the past, there has been some things that has shown me that I think trust and faithful. But if we're talking about faithful to God, that's different. I think we're all striving to be Proverbs 31 women, and I don't want to say that I can judge anybody because I fall short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Mimi.
I don't know her.
She's your castmate.
She doesn't call me. We don't spend any time together. We're on a group thread. That's all I know.
Y'all was wearing matching pajamas celebrating Christmas.
Quad brought them for us. At Walmart. Okay.
Not Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah.
No shade to Walmart.
No shade to Walmart. I mean, it could have been Target, but it was Walmart.
We're not going to Target right now.
You know, I mean.
Okay. Wrapping things up, Brandy.
Absolutely. Yes. From what I spend time with her, I speak with her. I said earlier, my father is going through some things in the hospital. Brandy has been there for me. Simone has been there for me. Thank you. Yeah, they've all been great. Everybody else has given their prayers in my friend group. Quad has prayed with me. But yeah, she's been a great friend. And I love the fact that when Mimi tried to put her on the spot and tell her who she should align herself with, Brandy said, I'm gonna need you to not talk to me like, girl, I got this. I don't need you to do any of that for me. Okay. I was like, yeah, that part. Okay, because you grown and you have your own voice and you are not manipulated by the people. That part.
And last but not least, the woman who made the statement alive, Angel. Is Angel a Proverbs 31 woman?
I'm getting to know Angel. Honestly, the longest time I've spent with her was after the party we had at the house where everybody said I went crazy and went off on my husband in a disrespectful way. She stayed. Her Angel stayed, Quad stayed, King stayed until 3 a.m. We were all outside talking,
having a wonderful time.
Yeah, had a wonderful time.
Well,
isn't that something?
I'm glad.
Had a wonderful time.
I'm glad we get to talk about that. But before we get to talk about that night that literally broke the internet, I do want to ask you, Dr. Eugene. Recent news broke that King and Quad have broken up. And I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Are you surprised by the news, or did you see it coming?
I hate to say I kind of saw it coming to a certain degree, only because, and I'm actually cool with King. And I think, he's a new friend, but I actually would use the word friend. We actually talked. We hung out on Father's Day. Like I hang out with King. King always had an issue. I think that the focus of their relationship was baby only. When you're a new couple and you're just getting to meet this person, the focus should be getting to know them, not fertility stuff. And, I think it was too much focus on other stuff other than really establishing their bond. And I think it affected him to a certain degree.
Have you spoken to him since the news broke? Or did you?
I told him the news broke. I said, hey, King, you all over the internet.
Well, he broke the news himself. He told us first.
He's talking about before that news.
What news?
No, he didn't know that his comments were on the internet.
Oh, well, he went on the internet and made the comment.
I know, he didn't know that it would...
That it went viral.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, hey, King, you're on TMZ. He was like, huh? So I sent it to him. He was like, oh.
But see, did TMZ call him because they called Quad, or did Quad call TMZ?
Quad's statement came after King's stuff blew up, I believe.
When did you know they broke up?
When did I know they broke up?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Share to you.
He said this been done.
Because?
I think because the focus was off. Like they just weren't on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. We would advise everyone to enjoy your relationship for as long as you can and establish a bond between each other so that hopefully once you have the kids, that bond is first. It's unbreakable in front of the kids. And, our kids, I tell Eugene all the time, hey, we have to be on the same team. We do.
Yeah. Let me retract that statement. Because actually, even when I think of, I've been, we go to marriage counseling.
Yeah.
So one of the things, I've been trying to really self-reflect on some things. And I was like, and thinking about things more philosophically almost. I think when a man and woman fall in love, when she has a baby, she falls in love with that baby to a certain degree. And it's hard to be in
son.
love with two people at the same time, in love, you know? And so when you look at a man and a woman after they have children, the focus does shift off the man to a certain degree. And I think they never had, I think, the full experience of falling in love because they were probably going in that direction, but then they shifted to, I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. So King's like, as a man, well, what about me? What about us?
Like, those are the questions I would ask him. You know, what made you put aside everything that you need for her needs? You know, why did you stay and film and continue when y'all were not in a good place? Like, that's what I want answers to. I never asked, and I could have. But if you ask and you know, and someone asks you, then you're obligated to tell that they asked for the truth. And so I rather not know so much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a story there, definitely.
Well, we will find out. But what I will say is there's a story going on with you two that has rattled social media.
Yeah.
Episodes ago, you guys had a party at your house and you two got into an argument. And we don't have to get into the specifics of it because y'all were there, we all watched it. But Toya, people do not like the way you speak to your husband.
Yeah.
And they think you emasculate him on purpose. They think you don't respect him. And even Heavenly has said something along the lines of, you treat him this way maybe because you want something else. What do you have to say to people who feel this way?
I think I'll start from the back end with Heavenly. I think that we all think at some point in our life that we need or deserve something else whenever things aren't going our way. And I think when it comes to my husband, the one thing I know for a fact is that he chose me and God spoke to me and said he was for me. And I was like, what? You know, I wasn't even ready for marriage really, but he was like, that's for you. He's for you. And ever since we've been together, we've been blessed and because we're obedient. And I was obedient to God. And so I know that Eugene is for me. It doesn't mean that we're gonna be the perfect couple. I've only met one couple that I say sometimes is borderline perfection. They laugh all the time. It's my aunt and my uncle. But the reality is, Eugene and I have been on camera now, I think, for almost 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the camera no longer is present. It's almost like it's a little stranger in the room, but it's like you don't really pay it any attention. And that particular day, it was a real life scenario that was something that me and Eugene we fought to overcome. In the beginning of our marriage, we would have some heated discussions in front of our friends. And it was uncomfortable for them because they loved us both. We would even try to make them choose sides. It was bad. And I think that the public is right to a certain extent. I shoot from the hip. I'm blunt. I can be rude. I don't mean to emasculate my husband. And I definitely, it's not my intention to attack him by no means. I do feel like there are times when I'm unheard and I need more self-control when it comes to speaking to my husband, whether it be during a camera, you know, around friends or in private. I think that we both are a work in progress, you know, but I'm by no means perfect. And that's my prayer now. That's my struggle. And I'm just glad that my ultimate judge is God and he knows my heart. He knows that I'm really trying to be a nicer person when it comes to my husband. And we even learned in our marriage counseling that we have some triggers that we've had for years, and one of my triggers is not being heard, because as a child, I always felt like my voice was, I couldn't use it in my mother's house. It was her word and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I grew up, I was like, nobody gonna tell me, and it was all of that. And, growing up in Detroit, it was like, it's a battle sometimes. My family, it is what it is. And
Yeah, because in Detroit, we're from the same, obviously.
Yeah, we can polish up nice, but
well, in Detroit, you're not, again, there's exceptions to the rules, but being raised in Detroit in a household with parents, you are not allowed to have a voice.
No.
At all.
It's what they say.
I think
in his household, he was raised the same way.
Yeah, I think there's, I think the public obviously sees us and judges us, and we're pretty open. I think we give a good representation of who we are. But the public still doesn't see the whole Toya. They don't see the whole Eugene. Like, I know how she grew up. She knows how I grew up. I know her parents. I know her where she came from. I know all these other aspects of, like, you just might see Toya saying something, but I know where it came from. And so I get it, If I know the backstory and understand the whole person, sometimes when she says something, I may not take it the way the public's going to see it, because I get what's happening.
And it's not him making excuses for it.
No. It still might be a trigger.
I think it's him recognizing, too, that there are some things that happened in when he was growing up. And they may have made him a certain type of way where he triggers me. And that,
what does he do that triggers you specifically?
I mean, can I be honest? Are you sure?
I don't know. What you about to say?
I mean, I think that one of my triggers is I don't like for him to drink a lot, especially on camera. I think in that scene, they thought I was drunk, but really and truly, my husband had worked hours and not ate.
I was having a good day.
And he was having a great day. and I was pissed, and I was trying, and I'm so used to him being my ride or die and helping me through these scenes. And that day he was kicking it with the guys, and I'm like, we're trying to make a show. What are we doing here? And so it just, it was things that was happening that just were, it was triggering for me. And when I kept trying to get his attention, and I was like, hey, honey, can you do this? They only showed, we was at my house for over 4 hours. Mm-hmm. They showed a 45-minute version of it. There was so many times where I had asked over and over. Scott had even stood up and was like, I'll do it, Toya, And it wasn't that I was trying to get him to do what I say. It's not it. It's just that at that moment, it's pressure, And when I see my friends giving me that look, that side eye, and then I see people that aren't even my friends, like Mimi, that don't know us, don't know our relationship, but that are looking for something. I was angry, and it came out. And I admit, I took a lot of it out on Eugene, and I think that through marriage counseling is great, because we talk about, okay, why do we still have the same triggers that we've had years that we no longer need? You know what I'm saying? I need to feel safe with my husband, and sometimes I don't always feel that way, and I think that...
What does safe look like for you when it comes to him?
A good example. Being raised in Detroit, you might have stayed in a house with bars on the window, right? Bars on the front door. That was my scenario. I remember my stepfather always saying it's a man's job to lock each door, make sure the house is on lockdown when it's time to go to bed. I never saw my parents drink in front of me. And I'm talking about my stepfather and my mother, not my father. But just providing an environment where I can be who I need to be, because I know he got me. And I guess that's why, even though he's not an alcoholic and he can drink and have a great time, it triggers me because I know that once he gets there, then it's my turn to be that protector. And I don't want to be that. I don't always want to be the strong girl. I feel like I was raised being that, and I want to be soft too. You know, I want my husband, we're working on a trigger word. So I said, can you just call me lovey when you want to calm me down? Because I want to be loving. I want to be all the things that he needs. And so we're figuring out where we are 18 years later in our marriage and what we need individually. And can he provide that for me? Absolutely. But I have to be at a place where I can express them, where he can hear me. And so I'm working on me and he's working on him.
And how does it feel for you to hear her say those things?
I mean, you know, we're a work in progress, you know, and I think you're always trying to reinvent yourself to be better. And that's what she's doing. That's what I'm doing. So I would be disappointed if she was like, I'm perfect, you know. It's only your problem, you know. And you're the only one that needs to change. That's not what she's saying. She's like, hey, yeah, I have triggers, and some of my triggers are because of my parents. Some of my triggers are past relationships. Some of my triggers are the shit you're doing now, you know. But I think recognizing it, I think is the first step of change.
But I think he also has to, and we are figuring this out in our marriage counseling, he has to own the fact too that he can get defensive. And when he gets defensive, is that going to help him to get his point across to me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so there are things now that as a married couple, you know, we're working on, but owning your part in it, owning your things that, you know, I can't worry about so much him owning or telling the world his business. That's his business. But I don't mind because they're paying me, you know, and they're always gonna show me in a certain light, you know, and I hate that because I try to change it all the time. You know, like you'll see toward the end of the season, I just was like, I have to stop giving it to them. You know, I can't blame production for anything because I give them these moments. And so if I got to figure out a way to still make good TV, but do it in a way that makes me proud, my pastor's wife proud, my husband proud, and God proud.
Right, but I do think that starts with you.
Yes.
Right, and I hear you loud and clear when you say, and I never knew that. You obviously, you were a little girl,
Yeah.
right, who did not have a voice in her own household, right? And as you got out, you sort of like broke free.
Yeah.
You know, from a spiritual standpoint, a physical standpoint, an emotional standpoint, you were free. It reminds me of when I left Detroit at 22, and I was, don't laugh, I was in the closet with this voice.
Still.
And this mannerism.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Anyways, my point is this. Shut up, Toya.
I believe it though. Detroit was in the closet for a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But my point is, I grew up in a household where I could not be my full self.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left Detroit, I moved to New York City.
Oh.
And baby, I became everything I came to be. And when I came back home a year later, I had 2 earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, that was a no-no.
And my father said to me, that's it, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said, mm-hmm. But my point was, I understand what you're going through in terms of like, you're expressive because you weren't able to do that. Yeah. But I do think this though, if I could give you some advice, as my sister, please. I do think this. I think you said something that I was going to say to you too, and I'm glad you said it because it shows me you're growing. You're repeating the same cycle over and over again, and you have to tell yourself, how are you able to manage your reaction to things? Because you are very expressive and he isn't, right? And his expression looks very different than yours. And the one thing I want to talk to you about—
Was it though? because he did say what the fuck and all
Well,
this.
I think.
I'm like, say what?
Well, I do. Again, I'm a viewer, but I think I can speak on behalf of America, and I say this with love.
Yes.
Toya, we all felt it's about fucking time.
For Eugene to stamp that. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh, okay.
We were like, finally, because we, and please stop me if I got this all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at this man, there's a lot of women who want your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure you know that.
Yes.
And you know that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you read DMs. I hope you don't. Because one of the reasons why King told the world they broke up is because girls were flirting with him in the comments, knowing that at least they thought he was with Quad. But my point is, these girls don't care if you got a woman or not. They're going to flirt with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women who want your man because they look at this very successful black man who, not spiritually, but he worships the ground you walk on. You are his dream girl, and you live a very soft life to us.
I was supposed to say
to us. And I'm going to say why. Because this man works to the bone to make sure that Toya Bush Harris is happy. And I do think that it looks differently for you. So what we're seeing as the audience is, and when I say this, I'm saying this with kindness, we look at you like this ungrateful bitch. Do you know how many women and men want your man, will love a Eugene to have in their life? And we do feel like you take him for granted.
Yeah.
And when he buckled back on you, a lot of the girls got turned on because, they were like, hey, Eugene. But they also felt like it's about damn time. She deserves for you to buck up on her. But I do you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I'm not interrupting.
No. I figure energy.
I'm receiving.
Yes. But I do want to ask you this. Were you ever able to move past the comments your wife made about your penis?
Okay. I still don't think she made a comment about my penis.
Correct.
That part.
It wasn't literal.
Right,
it was figuratively speaking.
It was a figurative thing, and they ran with it. The other ladies.
Yes.
Quad ran with it.
Heavenly
ran with it. But she didn't.
Even today when they bring it up and not to cut you off, but the reason why I'm asking you that is because this season, in your frustration with her, y'all had a one-on-one scene, and in your frustration with her, you brought it up again like, they're saying this about me. So that's why I want to ask you.
I guess it's because it's an ongoing issue. Like, even though that was several years ago that this comment was made, the same day of the party, the pool party, I'm in text messages talking about, hey, yeah, and your husband's dick is little and mine ain't. Like, okay, what's that got to do with you leaving a fake person at the party? Like, you leave y'all texts as girl texts.
Yeah.
Leave me out of it. Now that I'm in it, like, hey, quit talking about me. Like,
does it offend you though?
Yeah, it's offensive.
Like, is it hard for you to get past that because it's something that you feel like any man, as a man, I just wouldn't want that to constantly be brought up.
It's an annoyance.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Okay.
But
you don't think?
But when you keep bringing it up, it's resurfaced. Like, had it not ever came up again, I would be like, oh, okay, well, that was some stupid stuff that, like, Quad said she was gonna give me a dress. I haven't brought that up ever again because she ain't saying it no more. But when you keep saying something.
But do you blame her for it?
No.
Do you feel like he forgave you for that?
I feel like our counselor said, how do you deal with the stresses of your life, your show, your job, social media? We haven't figured it out yet. I think that Eugene wants to believe that he's over it, but I prayed for a man that was sensitive to me and not with anybody else. And so the part that I know, and in being with him for almost 20 years now, his feelings are hurt. He has always looked at himself as being a good guy, especially to women. And to be attacked by women is hard for him. because you're not allowed to go off on a woman. You know what I mean? Which is what concerned me a little bit, because when people say things like, well, it's about time, I was like, wow, what a double standard. Because God forbid the world be okay with a man bucking up on a woman at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality is, in a relationship, if I'm acting a fool, you don't meet me foolishly.
Right.
Okay? You set the tone of the way and you want it to go. And so had Eugene met me with, baby, let's go talk in the back. You know, something ain't right with you right now.
He did try to come at you and nestle your hip.
No.
When we came in the kitchen.
Yeah.
No, it was World
on
War
in
III.
No.
in the kitchen.
No. I'm talking about before. I watched the show, but before
You watched it. Was that an edit?
I'm talking about before the escalation. When you made the comment, well, can you get up? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And you went in the house. And he was like, let me get up. And you got up and you walked to her and you said, hey.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was.
He said, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, we was both on 10 by then.
Right. What the fuck was
Maybe
that?
they showed something a little different,
No,
child.
that's it. You better go back.
But also,
but
just,
let's be clear.
Go ahead.
Let's be clear. Even though that happened, okay, I stole the show. Well, what happened before that?
Yes.
And so
correct.
You may not have even seen that because you saw me not doing Proverbs 31.
And that's fair.
Period.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
That's the real.
I actually listen because I'm not a producer in this moment. I'm a viewer, and I actually receive it. Yeah. I can actually receive that as a viewer. I was so put off by the way you spoke to him that I missed anything he did. And listen, maybe subconsciously, me and the viewers, were like, whatever he did,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because of you. And now I understand why. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have an aha moment too.
Yeah.
I now understand why it's very difficult for you to be yourself on the show, because you do feel like, yes, I'm giving the world my real life, but I also understand as an outspoken Black woman, talking an octave higher than most to her husband, I lost the audience on my side.
Yeah.
I receive that.
Yeah.
I actually receive it.
And I respect my audience. I do. I love the love I get. I look on social media at comments and I'm just looking for somebody to say, you did that, and I shouldn't, because when they don't say it, I'm like,
right.
But I don't want to let my fans down either. I know that I was put on this show for a reason. And it wasn't to make up bad, fake storylines. It wasn't to, gloat. It wasn't to do any of that. It was to show a loving marriage with a real mother raising two boys. And the world needed to see it. I've always asked before the show started to be in like the Cosby Show and like the, different worlds back in the day, because that's what gave me hope. And so I really, truly want to represent that. But because I'm not scripted.
And now I'm back to being producer. I don't want you to represent that.
Yeah.
I want you to represent yourself, right? And I think this interview is doing a great job at showing the complexities of you, because you're not one note. And that's okay. A lot of people aren't, right?
Yeah.
You have been in a relationship with this man, married, for 18 years, right? And that, first of all, that should be applauded. And secondly, it's difficult to also show that on television. Yeah. And the thing about you, Dr. Eugene, that I've always wanted to ask you is, listen, when TOYA enters the room, your eyes light up, right? And you obviously, baby, it does. But I wanted to ask you this. did not get a chance to ask you this fully in our last conversation.
Mhm.
What do you see in Toya that you wish the world knew?
I mean, she is a very complete woman to me. You know, I think she's attractive. She's smart. She's very caring. I think she's a wonderful friend. She's a great mother. You know, like I on paper, this is who you want to marry. Now, I also, because the way I grew up, I've got a couple extra things that I like that some men don't like. You know, I like outspoken. You know, I like a little feisty. You know, I think, you know, I don't like women who are just one note. I don't want her to not give me pushback if she sees crap.
He dated somebody like that.
Now, sometimes I think she can go overboard, but I'm okay with that because I understand the total person, you know. But I like some of this stuff. Now, our counselor would be like, yeah, well, sometimes when it's something that you don't like, how do you respond? He's like, okay, yeah, that's the problem, you know.
Well, what he said was you got what you asked for, and now you want to complain about it.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. The reason why this makes sense to me is because in every relationship, this is my opinion. Number one, I want to say, as long as your partner has 80% of what you want, you've hit the lottery. You really have.
Because you're not trying to build him up.
But not only that. Listen, we live in a world where we know that nothing's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think the problems that you two have, I believe it is 20%, but it's 20% compounded because it's extreme. And I'm going to say this, and you guys don't have to say it. I strongly believe if you two weren't on reality television, the 20% of your problems would not be as heightened as it is.
No.
I think that's fair to say.
That's fair.
Honestly, the pool party, I already told her, had we not been on television, had this just been a regular day, we were having a pool party. One, we wouldn't have invited people to our house. Some of these people wouldn't have been invited. So we would have already been in a more safe space to be our full selves. If this was not on TV, we would have had a wonderful time. And had she said those exact same words, well, one, I don't even think she would have said it that way. Because
I just said, come on, lead the dudes. What are you doing?
Right. I would have looked at it in a totally different light. Not you playing me. Because the only reason I thought she was playing me was because of a couple people who were there. You know, had it just been our friends, we joan on each other all the time. Like, it wouldn't have been a thing. So, you know, take it for what it's worth, but you know, I think the show does change how you react sometimes.
Oh, for sure. And listen, and I want to have some clarity. It has nothing to do with being fake or acting. It just has, listen, this camera's in front of me and the red light is on, right? Y'all know me off camera and I have a big personality, but when this is on, there's a heightened version of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we're not going to be talking like this at Houston's.
Right.
Eating Hawaiian steak.
Not at all.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And
but
spinach dip.
But you know, there's a that's true. But there's a heightened version of it.
Mm-hmm.
There are people though, Toya, and I do want to have you address this. You know, we all know that, like he even said 5 minutes ago, on paper, he pretty much scripted his dream girl and you came to life. You did mention earlier that God had to tell you, like, no, this is your guy. Was it hard or challenging for you to welcome that Eugene was your guy? Were you looking for something different? Is he your type?
So people say it all the time. They're like, I want her vision board and whatever list that she wrote for a man. So someone told me years ago, write down all the things you need in your husband. And then I was like, girl, I don't need to write it down. She said, write it down. So I wrote down my list and she's like, don't be petty. So I never wrote on there that he had to be attractive. I thought those were little petty small things. I wrote that he had to be trustworthy because I had trust issues. I wrote that he had to be a provider. And at the time I was making like 50 grand. I said, so he got at least make 100, you know? Mm-hmm. I wrote that he had to be a good father and that he could give me twins. It's a very specific list.
Good.
And I wrote that he had to be sensitive with me but strong to other people. and I wanted him to be consistent. And so there was all these things on this list. I should have brought it. And
You
that's
still
because I
have
still
it?
have it. Yes, it's in my Bible. And so when God told me he was for me, the reason why he had to tell me is because I also made a deal with God. And I think that was bad. I said, if I'm not married by 30, can you take away the urge? Because I'm okay with being single. And at that time, I even wanted to write a book. It was going to be called Maximizing My Singleness, because I felt like I was content. I had went through so much growing up as a child that I just was like, I'm happy. I'm at peace. I had my space. I had a great job. I was working for, at the time, Pfizer, Novartis. I was doing my thing. And I didn't want to look like I had missed something. And honestly, coming from Detroit, I was not in a hurry to get married anyway. I was like, nobody's happy. There wasn't any, it's crazy how in Atlanta we have so many married couples that we hang out with. In Detroit, do you know one that we can hang out with?
Oh, in Detroit? Maybe not.
Right. Like, it's very difficult. And I just...
Oh, your cousin Tony.
My cousin, I would hang out with them. And your friend.
They're married.
And the guy that used to go to school with.
Thomas.
So we know two.
But that wasn't something you saw reflected in your everyday life in Detroit.
No, marriage was not a thing that I was excited about doing. I could care less about it at that time. And so when he came around, Eugene was adamant. He was like, I'm going to get this girl. And he did everything. And I did everything to chase him away.
Were you not attracted to him when y'all first met?
Yeah, I was attracted to him, yeah. But I wasn't having sex with him. I was like, I literally had told him, at that time I had went through this whole process of changing Toya. I wasn't drinking, I was saved, I wasn't having sex right away. So I was like, I'm not gonna rush into that with you. I just wanna get to know you. And it wasn't until somebody broke in my car and took my computer. And at the time I was going back to school for my master's. And he was like, I'm gonna give you the key to my house. And you can use my computer anytime. Baby. He did everything.
See, I got that quiet game.
Right. Honey, he got game, honey. That game right there.
No, the thing is this.
That game right there.
No, the thing is this. I hope you realize.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful thing that you made a deal with God.
Oh, okay.
Because I made a deal with God about something and it came true.
Okay.
I know what it feels like to say, if it's not meant for me, give me something else.
Yeah.
And even career-wise, I remember wanting this life that I live right now so badly that I was like, because I thought I'd be something at 22 child. Anyway.
Okay.
And I'm like, God, I'm 22 and I'm not where I need to be. And I said, I have this urge, and if it's not meant to be, take it away from me. Like, just take it away.
Yes.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that God brought you Eugene. And
at 30.
At 30. That's my point.
Isn't that the crazy? At 30.
And God knew your stubborn self.
Yes. Had it been 31, I'd have said, oh, you're not from me.
But you know God. Mm-hmm. I hope you know this. Mm-hmm. That robbery was God ordained.
Yes.
Because it took that moment for you to realize I could be missing something so great.
Yes.
That I'm too busy trying to, make sure that everything's whatever.
Checking the box.
But my point in saying all of that to you is this. 18 years later, he is still that guy.
Yeah.
That will give you the key to many houses.
Yes.
To make sure that you have something to look at.
And tell me, you figured out I'm coming with you.
Yes.
What vacation we going on, Toya? I want to go wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
What car you need, Toya? Go get it. I'm good. Your boy's good. What they need, you can handle it. I'm not worried about the house because you got it. That's him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I recognize that I have a very good blessing in Eugene, and I'm grateful for that, and that's the only reason why I have such a conviction when I do wrong by him, because God giveth, but he can take away.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's not what he wants. You know, and I know that sometimes I can be self-destructive. You know, and I receive that, and I'm trying not to be that way at 50. Damn, I'm about to be 50. You know, girl, like I can't keep doing that. You know, there's no chaos here, as the other people like to say, you know. But the people that will know me would love to call it that. The people that know and love us will say things like Simone said, this is the couple I would love to be. You know, I need a man that's going to uplift and support, and a woman that he feels so safe that he doesn't even blink twice. I just I'm just a work in progress.
And that's fair. But to me, that's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
Right? Is I don't want to live a life where I'm stagnant because I know everything.
That part.
You know what I mean? I receive. Because God knows that some things I'll be like, God, I didn't need that lesson, but I got you, bro. But my point is, you should be honored that, number one, you get to live a life where you're constantly learning and growing.
Yes.
And you two are soulmates. You guys really are. You guys really are.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything to disrupt this union that is God ordained. Because there's people who talk about the Sierra prayer, but we all want the Toya prayer.
Amen.
And we want the Eugene sketch.
Okay.
Okay. So my last question is this. When it comes to marriage, you know, there's tons of people, Dr. Eugene and Toya, who are disconnected. And, you know, there's people, I'm sure you know tons of them, who use the D word, divorce. You know, we've seen, and I tell the world this all the time, my favorite scene in the history of this show is when all of y'all rallied behind Simone and Cecil to say, no, we're going to fix this. But what advice do you give couples who feel like we've been together for X amount of years and, you know, do we throw in the towel?
I think you just have to every day choose your partner. I mean, there's going to be hard days. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Like, it would be, I guess, some utopia if we never had an argument. But that's just not realistic. You know, like even best of friends get in arguments, you know. So if you're going to be with somebody for the long term, it's going to be external factors that come in. It's going to mess y'all up. It's going to be internal stuff, mess you up, your past, all kind of stuff. But as long as you each day choose, like I'm choosing her, you know, and then you work through those issues. Like, you know, you just got to keep choosing, you know.
I think for me, the first question I would ask is, do you still love each other?
Not like them, love them.
Right. And, you know, because if you are still in love with someone, then you can take the next step, which is learning to respect that person again. And I think sometimes when we get in relationships, we get so comfortable with each other that we don't even realize that we're disrespecting each other and that we're not uplifting each other in the way we need, or I'm not speaking to the man I need him to be. I'm speaking to that other person that I'm dealing with on the outside.
Oh, can I interject one thing?
Yeah.
This is the protector of me, like protecting my wife. I just hate this notion that Toya's just doing something to Eugene all the time. Like, I didn't comment earlier. It was like, well, good thing he stood up for himself this time. Like, first of all, do I not push back on a lot of stuff?
Well,
like
you have to tell the world that. I told you, I'm not going to tell.
Right. There are days I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I know that. But some of my pushing buttons isn't so much in an aggressive way. Sometimes it's not hearing her. Now, I know not hearing her is...
No, it's aggressive sometimes.
It can be.
You slam doors.
Oh, yeah.
You have tantrums.
I've slammed the door before.
Yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah, I slammed the door.
He will yell throughout the house. Yes.
Now,
and that is a no-no
in my
me.
opinion,
not Eugene.
Yeah, I'm like, and I never saw my parents argue, so I'm like, hold
once it gets going,
what's your sign?
Yeah,
Sagittarius. We're both fire signs.
Yes, and so once he is lit, Eugene, I'm like, stop texting me.
It's
over.
Look, if I think I've been wrong, I'm going to keep explaining and defending where I'm right.
Yes.
Over and over. So I get it. but nobody sees
And
that
God
part.
forbid me tell this doctor, he's wrong in some way when every day he goes to work and he's right.
He has
No,
that.
that's not true. That's okay. You can say
What?
that.
Well, I want to say right.
Get on topic.
I think every day he goes to work, he's on a mission to get the answer.
Yeah. And the reality is this, though.
Yeah.
This is the part he's really leaving out. And I really want, and I talked to Carlos about it. And he said, well, can you talk about that?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, talk about pellets and be honest.
Like which part?
How men.
No, all right. You about to say, all right.
Right. Because then you know the word I'm going to use.
I think men and women, once you hit about 35, 40, are testosterone deficient. Testosterone, actually, a lot of people think testosterone is this aggressive hormone. It actually makes people nicer. It calms people down. And I think the divorce rate in this country, probably is so high in people's late 40s, early 50s, is because you have hormone deficiencies that you don't realize. And you're thinking that every problem is your spouse. They're thinking every problem is you, and y'all go your separate ways. I think I'm a much happier person when my testosterone level is appropriate.
And so from your own experience, he didn't know that he had a hormone imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started realizing it when we had this one scene a couple of seasons ago, and I asked him, how can we make you happy? What are your hobbies? And he was like, I don't know. And he really started realizing that he was just there. Like he wasn't his happy-go-lucky, fun self anymore. He had no energy to do anything. And then when he discovered this whole testosterone imbalance and finally went to the doctor, they started trying different things on him, like they would do with a woman who's going through menopause. And it's some imbalances that happen. Just like with Quad and King, he said when she was getting a shot, your hormones be raging.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was dealing with a lot of hormones with my husband.
Or the lack thereof.
All of that.
Yeah.
And so for years, when people were like, well, she doesn't want to be married, it was because I couldn't understand who this person was. And I was like, does he want to be married? Like, we both were like, how do we fix this? Like, what's wrong? And so now that my husband has this amazing clinic, Recharge Wellness, he is literally educating men and helping them to get to that place, because he even said that he thinks that his parents would have still been in a happy place had his father known. And like I said, I don't want to tell your story.
No, but that's big. And that's part of your wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So how can people reach out to you to gain information and stuff from that?
So if you go to www.rechargewellnesshealth, you can have a lot of information there. That's where you can make appointments. I'm a concierge service, so I only take a certain amount of people. But if you make an appointment, there'll be like a 30-minute time slot where we get on the phone and we figure out what we need to do.
I mean, look at how different he is. His weight loss is down.
No, he looks good.
He looks good.
It's between him and Steve.
Oh. Honey, there is no competition. My man don't have to put on no Louis Vuitton, okay?
Oh!
He ain't got to put on none of that, okay? This right here.
No, we love you, Gene.
That
Listen, I
part.
will say this. I want to listen. You're my sister in real life. I want to thank you for your vulnerability.
Thank you, baby.
I really do. I really
Yeah.
do, because I know it's been tough for you.
Yeah.
And
Oof, you don't know.
like you said, we've had conversations off not on camera, but in our real life. And I was so happy to get the two of you, because
I was scared. I was like, I don't want the world to judge me anymore. We're
I know she said
tired.
Carlos, and I said,
was-
come on my podcast, we'll talk about it, because listen, I know you're not one note, but I also know the power of this medium, which is the podcast, to be able to just have you, just speak on things that the world is going to be able to view. And I know that when it comes to the two of you, you two are meant to be together, and all couples go through their stuff, but a lot of them aren't on TV broadcasting it.
That part.
And as somebody who produces television and works on shows about love and marriage, pun intended, Back March 7th. What I will say is you two are the epitome of Black excellence and Black couple goals as well. And I want to applaud the two of you for being so honest and vulnerable. And sorry, ladies, he's taken. All right. Marital Medicine airs every Sunday, 9 o'clock 8 Central on Bravo. And make sure to catch it on Peacock on Mondays. I've said it for the past 10 years before I had this microphone. It is the best show on Bravo.
Yes.
The best show on Bravo. And this one is clocked in every episode. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.